Hello, welcome to the studio. So today I am doing part 3 of my Seascape on tissue paper. So it's monoprint on tissue paper. I've already got some really lovely transparent layers coming up, and I'm going to add some more to it today. If you like what you see, do subscribe to the channel, and you can also see lots more of my work and see if I've got any workshops on at ruthander.co.uk. So this is where I'm at so far. I've got several layers on here. I've got the darker layer and then a light blue over the top. I just let the texture of the tissue do what it wanted there. And I've added some sun and sky and some clouds as well. I really love this little area over here. And some reflections as well. So the idea is that this bottom part is sort of low tide sand and the top part is the sky and the sunset. So today I've just been really re-looking at it, writing some more notes about what I want to do. I've been re-looking at the photographs that I'm basing this on, and over here I've mixed my colours as well. So I've gone a little bit brighter, although I won't be using much of these bright colours, but just the odd little bit. So I'm ready to go. So I've just got a bit more purple on here, and I think I'm just going to do a kind of gestural mark there, which means that I've left a lot of ink on there. Now that probably will print. It's going to look a bit like a painting, I suppose. So let's see how that works. I'm just going to line my paper up again, and what I don't want to do is go over this lovely patch here because I really like that. So just make sure I don't do that. And in this case, because there's so much paint on here, I hopefully will only need finger pressure. Let's just see what that's doing. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, you can see that has printed really well on top of the dry ink. And I might even do a little butterfly print at this stage. So what I do here is I'm just going to cover this up a little bit. I'm just going to, because there's a lot of ink on there, I may as well use it while it's still wet. I'm just going to put it on the other side, just like a butterfly print, just like you do at school. And just take some of it off so that it goes onto the other side. I can even do a little bit more than that, I think. There we go. So now we've got kind of nice soft purple on this side and on the other side. And that's just making that yellow and oranges really sing out now as well. So one thing I'm also going to do, I'm just going to get as much of this nice purple onto my roller as I can, because I think I'm going to roll it on to my piece as kind of a reflection in the low tide sand. I'm just going to cover that up so that I can use this area. And I'm just going to apply it sort of where it is in the sky. I'm going to apply just a little bit here to reflect onto this. What this is kind of, the idea is it's sort of low tide, muddy, sandy coastline, which is you get a lot of around here on the North Somerset coast. And it reflects the sky really beautifully, so you get these lovely washes of colour. So there we go. That's the reflections. At some point towards the end of making this, I will re-put in the horizon, so it will be a bit more obvious where the horizon is. So I am going to add now, I'm going to add a bit more of an intense colour here for the sunset, and then I'm going to also put that, but in a softer version as a reflection underneath. So I'm going to try this colour first, which is a sort of soft orange, peachy orange colour. It might not be strong enough, so I'll just see. I might have to mix something else. Now, I'm going to, I think, just, oh, that's rather nice. I'm just going to, there we go, just put a little gestural mark of it there. And so I'm folding my paper back again so that I sort of know where this is going to land, so to speak. Then I'm going to put it about there, and I can actually fold it right up here to where I want to put this mark, and then just fold it over, and that's how I kind of register things. And I'm just going to use my finger here because this is like painting. There's like a painting underneath, really. It's not rolled out ink, it's not thin ink. Okay. Oh, I quite like that. Quite small, quite subtle. Now I was going to butterfly print that, but actually because there's not much on there, I think what I'm going to do is actually roll that ink out. I'm going to add a little bit more and roll it out to get a nice soft version of that on the lower part of the picture to show as a reflection. I'm just going to get all this ink and oil, paint and oil off my roller, which does tend to get stuck in the edges. So if you are doing this at home, be aware of that. Really, really have a go at the ends of your rollers with something quite absorbent, whether you're using water-based inks or oil-based. Either way, the ink, paint, water, oil, it always gets stuck in the end here, and then you end up with sort of marks every time you roll out, which we don't want. Okay, right, so I'm going to try with the roller itself. Okay, that's nice, yeah. Okay. So that is really starting to become a rather beautiful sunset now. So I'd just like to add a little bit of really, really bright yellow. I'm just going to use a cotton bud for that actually to place it on, because it's very difficult to place a very small amount of a bright colour onto a piece like this by printing, and I just want a kind of little, just a smidgen along there. And even just that tiny little spot changes the piece. So one of the last things I'm going to do now is add an extra layer of dark ink at the bottom of the piece. And the way I'm going to do that, I'm just rolling dark coloured ink out. I have mixed this. It's a sort of mixture of all different colours, so it's not sort of pure black. It's pretty dark. So again, I'm just going to sort of line up my paper from where I want the dark area, or the dark marks to start. So right at the bottom, basically. So I fold the paper, I line it up, and then I just let the paper drop over like so. And I'm going to use a piece of spare scrap paper here, because I'm going to be drawing with a fairly sharp piece of mount card, and I don't want to rip my tissue paper. And one of the reasons I'm doing it this way is because if I just used a Baron and tried to apply even pressure, it probably wouldn't pick the ink up. I mean, it might not pick it up now, but let's give it a go. And you can be quite gestural. It's almost like drawing this, really. Right, let's see if that's picking up ink. Oh, yes, it is. Yeah, in fact, yeah, that's great. So just going to do a little bit more, I think. Okay, let's see how that's done. Okay. So difficult for you to see. Let me see if I can hold that up. There we go. So that lower part is a lot darker now, and we've got some movements and marks in it. So I'll just show you a quick method of taking ink off if you've got somewhere you don't want it. So this ink there's a few marks that I don't want on here. So all I'm going to do, I won't get it all off, but it will take some of it off. I put a piece of scrap paper over the ink I don't want, and I really press down with something hardish. This is a piece of mount card, and it comes off onto the scrap paper. You're sort of reprinting it off. Now, it doesn't take all of it off, but it makes it lesser. And another thing you can also try, which often works quite well, is blue tack, or this is white tack actually. And just pressing it onto where you don't want the ink. And this works well if you have wet ink that's been put on dry ink or paint. So you'll only hopefully take off the wet ink and not the dry ink, and that's actually taken lots of it off. So you just sort of work your way round the blue tack. That's almost taken the complete mark off actually, so I'm going to keep going with that. And there we go. There are ways to save a print even if you've made a mistake. So here is where I am now after that printing session. We've got quite a bit more darkness down here. We've added a lot more layers and complexity to this top area, the reflections here, much more of a sunset, and the purple as well. So I'm pleased with that, and we're just going to do a little bit more probably to finish that off in another session.